because I'm in hey, I got conscious. I don't really curse. I don't really curse like public like that anyway.
Democrat.
Right, right. Trust me. Right.
Bars.
Live from the Windy C Radio studio in the shops at Iverson. This is the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WindyCRadio.com, the Windy C Radio app, Facebook Live and YouTube Live on the Windy C Radio pages, and of course, it's all powered by GoWin.media.
Representing Leesburg, you know what I'm saying? Like you actually you're actually the first artist, not the first person, but the first artist from VA on the show.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So you holding it down for VA, you know what I mean?
I didn't even know. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? So we'll be talking
Well, I
to him.
appreciate your time. Thank you for having me out.
Absolutely.
Even for letting me come on early, for making it. See, I was early,
Yes,
so I got an extra few. I was billed for 11:15, but I was early.
my man.
The artists, like, take note.
That's right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
right. Take
Like,
note.
you're early, like, you might get your plate first.
That's-
if you wait. If you wait for the cook.
That's right. And you know what I'm saying? He got here early and got those absent mall snickerdoodles, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. I mean, there's no name on the bag, but yeah. And I got pizza at the front Italian spot.
That's right. Mama Lucia's.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Good pizza right there, you know.
Shameless plug.
All right, maybe there'll be a sponsor, you know what I mean? So I guess I gotta intro you again. Thank you, Calvin. Appreciate you. Shout out my man Calvin Williams, Lush Vibes Radio. Make sure y'all are following him at Lush Vibes Radio across the board. So let me do this once again. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, and everybody in between. Right here on the one and only bars, AJ Throwback. Got my man Empuls right across from me, representing Leesburg, Virginia. You know, first VA artist on the show.
It just flew in and boy, my arm is
Oh man, so
Is this thing on?
yeah. Oh man, so we'll be.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so
My pleasure.
Yeah, so we'll be talking to Impulse around 11:15, 11:20ish. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be talking to him about all of what he's got going on, multiple projects. You know, been busy man. So yeah, so
Doing what I can.
yeah. So we'll be talking to him, and also at noon we will have Tamar Bubble calling in. So make sure y'all tune in for that. Another busy person right there, staying busy. Got so much going on. But right now we're gonna go ahead and we're not gonna waste too much more time. Appreciate everybody who's tuned in on Facebook Live. I see Miss Razzle Dazzle tuned in, South Carolina representing. Her and Daddy Razzle Dazzle. Appreciate y'all. I see Mika. I see you coming in, so I appreciate you for also tuning in. So yeah, tell a friend. We on. Let's get to the best and the brightest in hip hop, R&B, and all that good stuff. RNL, one game left to play right here on the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars.
From 97 to 2019, still going. They don't respect the craft.
No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap. No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap. No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap. No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap.
I've been ordained by the one they call Bill Source to maintain the course, to teach a one of life's lessons. Translations, blessings that I be employing, exploring the vast mass of getting my enjoyment. Impossible dreams from one on the city scenes that stay grinding till I die. It's just a wicked theme. Supreme notion, living as a king, going out like Scarface, gun blazing everything. You got those thinking flaunting is the answer. Past tense mentality is disaster, and kids who parents are controlled by this, showing them the rationality of being hood rich. They're still using destructive means on the streets with crack fiends are on their third generation creed. It's do or die when they trapped in this life. Nowhere to turn, just a casualty of trife. Man, this depressing is shh. But truthfully, you're stuck going nowhere and miss. A victim in wisdom ignores or don't listen. Present yourself as a criminal to a system. There's only one game left to play. There's only one game. There's only one game left to play. Young boys don't respect that man.
No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap. No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap. No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap. No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap.
I come from the needs of a generation where they plant seeds of consumerism of a vision, self and acts take lead. But patiently I await. Got Carlos or Desperados, understand that time don't wait for any. But plenty makes mistakes for envy, showing lovely, chinchilla like bubbly, giving eyesight to ugly villain. To get that feed designed to take it, rob or leave. For the deaf lifestyles adapted for kids to breathe. And constantly dreams are a factor. Change the patterns from lawyers to actors, strippers and addicts, narcissists and Scarface matter. And now I'm on that lifestyle. A black man caught in a psych out. Poverty, the wild styles profile is similar to PlayStation heroes. Without option and extra lives and vehicles. Little change for that lifestyle of shame. A population rate declining at a great range. At this rate, there seems to be no panic to anyone caught up in that social media traffic. There's only one game left to play. One game. One game. There's only one game left to play.
No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap. No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap. No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap. No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap. No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap. No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap. No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap. No doubt these dum-dums don't be doing the math. No doubt these young ones don't respect the crap.
This is a Bill Source production.
You hear this spot right here? This could be your spot where you pull your new customer. If you're a nascent or established business or entrepreneur and you believe you have the right product for our audience, then advertise with Bars. For more details on our rates, packages, and deals for first-time clients, email balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
Gorilla I'm never so lazy. I got it, nobody, we get it, no daddy. My side, I'm a daddy. Myself wanna take care of mommy. I'm putting the bread in the house. I'm putting the bread in the house and I feel it. These niggas, they feeling my pressure and I'm feeling this pain is again and the pain and again and again. I be healing my pain in this bitch. I be healing my pain in this bitch. It's a risk, got a pains in the chase and I'm chasing my dreams. It's never so easy to chase on the dream. Niggas so chasing a blessing. Trying to get fame with a fake and I'm ready to squash it. Pull up, I get it. I see no competition for this combination. Yeah, my flows will always be the motivation. Kill this generation, kill discrimination. Get up on my nation, revelation, get a different vision. Yeah, we on a mission. Oh man, yeah, we on a mission. Oh man, yeah, we on a mission. Oh man, yeah, it's leave, yeah. Oh man, yeah, we on a mission.
I see them coming, they know that I'm grinding on. Yeah, yeah. I want the money to talk for me, love. Yeah, a mission is what I'm on. Doing some crap you don't know. Yeah, don't trip on me, you my foe. Yeah, cause I'm trying to get my fame out of the low. Yeah, trying to get my fame out of the low. Trying to get my fame out of the low. Hey, trying to get my fame out of the low. Get it money, be the main mission. Get it minute, spend it with a 10-bit mission. Tell a hater, want you take a look at the vision. On a mission, I repeat. On a mission, I repeat.
Hey, always out for the studio. Taking clips at serios. Going viral, nigga, rodeo. Wanna be heard on the radio. All this trap, but my skirting, yeah. All I thought was getting deep, hey. Now I really couldn't sing, hey. Future causing on this page, hey. Doing this enough for fame, hey. But I do it for the change, yeah. Got a squad, yeah, we lead, yeah. Praise the wave, yeah, we lead, yeah. They can talk when I'm on the cry. All out with a hate, yeah. This is time for the fake, yeah. Born out with a lead, yeah. Move before a nigga, please, yeah. Ain't nobody tryna move, yeah. No nigga tryna stop me. Get it little, put the stove move. Waking slightly, but I make it loud. Going deep with a hustle G. Studio lead, that's my remedy. Dope songs, that's my pedigree. Oh my god, I'm just a real deal. Why these niggas never see shit?
I see them coming, they know that I'm grinding on. Yeah, yeah. I want the money to talk for me, love. Yeah, a mission is what I'm on. Doing some crap you don't know. Yeah, don't trip on me, you my foe. Yeah, cause I'm trying to get my fame out of the low. Yeah, trying to get my fame out of the low. Trying to get my fame out of the low. Hey, trying to get my fame out of the low. Get it money, be the main mission. Get it minute, spend it with a 10-bit mission. Tell a hater, want you take a look at the vision. On a mission, I repeat. On a mission, I repeat.
Every time in the bad news, keep my trust to this beast, yo. Treat them cool with the patience. Loyalty is a rare bitch. Only be, yeah, we give that. Studio lead, yeah, I'm trapping, nigga. Studio lead, yeah, I'm coming, niggas. Studio lead, that's my party side. Bring me weed if you wanna try. Tryna try, yeah, we wanna mesh. Tryna try, yeah, we wanna mesh. Yeah, we wanna mesh.
If you're an urban contemporary indie artist, then this is your platform. Send us clean versions of your music to balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
There'd be one thing left to do. All I wanna drive me crazy. Watch the sun drown on a June night. If it feels right, watch it over the town. Watch the sun drown on a June night. If it feels right, watch it over the town. Watch the sun drown on a June night. If it feels right, watch it over the town. Watch the sun drown. Quietly storming, watch the sun burst into flames. Things won't be the same. Let me captivate. Tides will be roaring. Watch the sun drown. When the sun drowns, we'll be free now. Won't be long now till the sun drowns.
That's how we feel about this track right here. This is the Fish Grease Pick of the Week, only on bars, on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
I learned a long time ago that love is in danger from people who only live on lies. I can see in the future that I have to change me. There's so many things I've now realized. Sometimes it's not fair, but it still remains in the air. Pieces of a heart has been broken. But here I am now, no longer a victim of the game that came from words unspoken. Just know love is a game, you gotta know how to play. Love is a game, you gotta know how to play. Until I can see what real love is to me, I will never put myself on hold again. Although my heart skips a beat from the beauty of love, I must control the game so I can win. Sometimes it's not fair, but it still remains in the air. Pieces of a heart has been broken. But open yourself up to what love can bring you. If it's made to work, it won't break a bend. Just know love is a game, it can change who you are. Love is a game, it can change who you are. When the tables are turned, all the lessons you learn become a part of who you're sure to become. Don't ever let them mistake you. Know the words will not break through, cause your heart's turned to stone. Just know love is a game, gotta know how to play. Love is a game, gotta know how to play. Just know love is a game, it can change
Welcome back to the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah. That was our fish grease pick of the week. People's Choice winner, Ramsey Haynes with Love Is a Game. Shout out to Ramsey Haynes, man. She came through with an outpouring of support for that song. So congratulations to her. Before that, we had Noir with June Nights, who was also eligible for the contest. So shout out to him for qualifying as well. Before that, we had Viral P featuring Thirsty H and Alpha Red with Mission, all the way from South Africa, y'all. We getting music from South Africa, you know. And of course, starting off the set, we had RNL with One Game Left to Play. Shout out to everybody who is tuned in on Facebook Live right now. I see my cousin Coolin. Appreciate you for tuning in. Who else? Oh, my sis Yvette of the Dear Yvette Show that comes on every Monday, 2 to 3, right here on WinDCRadio.com. So shout out to her. Appreciate you. My man ADST checked in. Appreciate you, brother. So and also Christine Haynes. Yeah, appreciate you for tuning in as well. One of our biggest supporters. So let's go ahead and get right to it.
Whether they're artists, athletes, entrepreneurs, politicians, activists, or simply folks you need to know, we've got the line to the movers and shakers of DC, Maryland, Virginia, and beyond. This is 15 minutes of game on the Balancing Act Radio Show.
Yes. Early today. Early. Because you got to say it like that. My main man, Empuls, representing VA.
Popping with you, Slim.
You know what I'm saying? He broke the VA cherry, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We hadn't had any artists on here yet from Virginia, and he's the first. You know? So, welcome, bro.
I drive Dolo from state to state.
And then come with the belly references, you know what I mean?
The illest in Iverson Mall. You about it.
Oh, this is going to be a great interview.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely. I've been waiting for this one for a while, man. You know. So.
Let me know if my excessive elbow banging.
It's all good, you know. Like I was on a show where, you know, one of my co-hosts, you know what I'm saying, he used to do this all the time, you know what I'm saying. So I mean, you know, elbow banging is probably, you know, low on the list. So like I said, appreciate you for coming through, man. Yeah, man. And you know, speaking of being from VA, I mean, VA, this is something. This is the way I kind of wanted to start it off with you. Okay. So VA kind of, I've always felt like VA when it comes to music, but hip hop in particular, always had like a different kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like different from everywhere else in the DMV. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just, I don't know. It's almost like it's a little closer to the ground, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Like for myself, for example, I lived in an area even further than the area that everyone associates with the DMV. That's like Alexandria. Everything like within like the inner and outer loop is typically associated. Me and most of the cats I knew like 30, 40 minutes from there. So all I was doing was like, all right, so I was born in 81. My man, I didn't even have the internet. My man was ordering tapes in like 95, 96.
Yeah.
So, and we're ordering stuff like directly from the underground labels. So that's what we associated with.
Right.
You know, I was listening when everybody else was talking about whoever. I was listening to like Three Eyed Cows, and, like Self Fellowship, and,
okay.
you know, and like Natural Elements, and like Brooklyn Academy, and like all these groups of people now are probably still typing in like what's he talking about.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So that's where we were at. So, and then I started meeting cats like a little further out in VA, whatever, and then we were kind of on the same thing.
Right.
And then those are the cats I associated with in DC and Maryland as well. So like that's how, you know what I mean? That's literally. So I think that the reason things were different is because we had to drive. I didn't have a car when I first started putting tapes in. I was in like high school.
Yeah.
There was no way I was coming to the city and being able to freestyle battle. But like I wasn't pulling up somewhere I didn't know.
Yeah.
With a hand, like one of those maps you had to read, like
the Rand McNally joints.
You're looking at like this looks like a hip hop place. They're freestyle battle rapping here. Let's pay for a cab and go out there and skip school and go out because it's hip hop.
Yeah.
We used to always joke about how we wish that it was more of a New York setting where I could like skip school, walk 4 blocks, and like battle right there. That wasn't the case. So we were like battling each other. So it was like steel sharpening steel and Darwinism. So if you weren't any good, you didn't have the heart, you did not last quickly.
Right.
You got pressed a lot.
Yeah.
So it was by the same people.
Yeah.
So, and then when you go now, that's the thing about VA though. A lot of people I know argue about as far as the DMV distinction. You have the whole Northern Virginia.
Right.
The whole area where not a lot's going on, and those people kind of pick sides. And then you have the 7 cities area, and you have Southern Virginia, which is its own thing, which is not the DMV.
Yeah.
Our biggest artists and most known artists all come out of it. So when you say Virginia to anybody else, they're thinking Timberland, Lady of Rage, who's actually from Farmville. A lot of people don't know that. And then like Magoo, and then you know what I mean. That whole, and then obviously the Clips. I keep wanting to not leave anybody out. Yeah. Because Mad Skills, which I wasn't even gonna go there. That's as far as him seeing like Southern Virginia. Mad Skills ghost wrote for so many people. Like he sharpened and created like a whole style that the industry ran with. Yeah, my bad. But he like ran with he created a style and ran with the industry ran with, and people emulated, and like but again that's a whole nother thing. Yeah. But we weren't even rapping like that. And yeah, Virginia it's different even where you are in Virginia. Yeah. But it was always different from the quote unquote surrounding area, because I remember when I first came to DC, I stuck out.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But now, I never understood how, because I would hear certain people and be like, we're doing the same thing, and I realized it's like, nah, we just weren't doing what they were doing. Yeah. We had our own. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's hard. It's been hard.
I never
for me
noticed.
To put it, yeah.
It's like when you don't have like being in VA. I don't notice my accent, but people from far up north, I'm sure I sound like a redneck. And then my people, people from down south, I sound like I'm from New York. Like I've heard that distinction.
Okay.
So it's like,
it's weird like that. I can definitely relate to that to a certain degree, because people don't ever think I'm from here. Right. Even though I'm like Ward 8 born and raised. Born and raised. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I actually was born in Columbia Hospital for Women, but pretty much raised in Ward 8 most of my life. So like people have given me Philly, they've given me New York. Right. They never say anywhere down south. It's always north.
I get the down south, because I'm further away from the Basin, Texas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's funny because where I was born, I've lived within an hour's drive of that spot my entire life. Yeah. Always in Virginia. And again, I don't notice any difference. But even like right now, I know for a fact, like we're trying to be more approachable. Right. So I'm being conscious of my diction. So I'm sure my tone is a little different, and my word choices are different. So I probably sound different, quote unquote. When I'm being more relaxed, again, like it's what we used to, code switching.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if this were, again, if this were more urban, like underground internet radio, I don't know, I'm sure I'd be different. I still wouldn't speak ignorant, right? But I'd be more relaxed in my tone. So, yeah. So I guess depending upon your ear, or like whoever's ear, I guess I'm sure I could sound the most redneck. If we're doing like we're landscaping, I'm sure I sound redneck. And country, because it's different. It's a different choice of words. We're talking about it's a different base of knowledge.
Right. Yeah. But to me, that's what adds to the uniqueness of like people, not just in hip hop, but specifically the DMV, because it's like I said, I don't really get, most of the people that I even get sending me music are from either DC or Maryland. You know what I'm saying? And but I don't really get a lot of people from Virginia. And I've been wanting people.
A lot of cats from Virginia still try and like attach to it, like I'm 40 minutes from DC. I'm in the DC suburbs. rather than just say I'm from Reston.
Right.
I'm from, and then the thing is, I don't even make mention of how I'm from Virginia, but other people do. So I just nod when it's said. You know, when you were like, represent Leesburg, I'm like, I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I'll definitely reference where I'm from when I tag certain things on the internet. But just because that's where I'm at.
Right.
You know, that's where I live.
Yeah.
But for years, I remember like being opposed to representing where I was from because I didn't want anybody to know. It wasn't like I'm trying to get fame off of it or I'm trying to bring it to the forefront.
Yeah.
But then when I realized I was like the only person, like I'm from this portion of Virginia. Like people kept saying like, where's that at?
Yeah.
And then like people would be like, putting Leesburg on the map. Here's Empuls. Like that happened to me. I was in Rochester. I drove up to Rochester.
Okay.
And these cats, it's a funny story. So I'm cool with everybody now, but I went up there and I got there and some things happened. But I started hearing, the guy from VA thinks he's tough. The guy from VA drove up here by himself. The guy from VA, and I'm like, I'm the guy from VA. So I should start listening to all these conversations. Let me check the temperature of the room, and then it turned into like, if the guy from VA does this or that, and reps his set, and I'm like, oh my God, they have no idea where I'm. There's no set for me to rep it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not. First of all, I'm not associated with any faction or clubs or anything, right? No modules, nothing.
Yeah. And
there also none of them exist in my town. I was like, that's how far away I live.
Yeah.
Much closer. People, if I said I was from Leesburg, as far out as Baltimore or Loudoun County, no one's gonna be like, oh, okay. Like that just sounds like everybody knows. Like, oh, that's some small town in Virginia close by I never heard of. No one's, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm up there, and then I did my set, and then I like kind of appropriated their space. And they ended up being really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just remember hearing like, he's the dude from VA, just driving up here by myself meant something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, that's how, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's always been the dude from VA, or I'm the only one who go down to North Carolina to do a show. I'd be like, yo, you're the first dude from VA, and I'm like, our state's touch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how does that possible?
Right. Yeah. Now that's mind blowing, right there.
There's definitely a couple of spots where I've been the first dude. A couple of spots in DC where I'm the first person from VA they remember being there. Like, which, but like K Beta, for example. If I'm not mistaken, K Beta, who I know reps, and I'm not trying to put anybody on whatever. You know what I mean? But I know I'm pretty sure he lives in Virginia. I'm not gonna say where. There's a lot of cats that live in Virginia. Just none of us, to my knowledge, have run around saying like we're from Virginia.
Right.
Like certain cats got associated with the DMV because we existed when that first started being said. Right. You know what I mean? And we were all performing in the same circle. But to my knowledge, I haven't seen very many people. My man Jack actually, he's from a spot called Culpeper.
Yeah, Culpeper. Yeah.
Right. So where that distinction is, that's no one's associating that with DMV. It is far enough away from Southern Virginia.
That's true.
But Jack's has a track. I want to say it's like 8 or 9 years old now. Jack's got a track, and it's called So VA. And this is way before the So Brooklyn. Like I said, like this is like.
I think I may have heard that song. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So just to, plug Jack the G, Jack the General. Check him out on Bandcamp and all that. But
gotta plug the folks.
Absolutely, man. Gotta give him his flowers while he's still alive.
There it is. Yeah. So
I don't want to take over. I don't even know where that started. That was just I like the direction. Like I said, I did my little bit of research. I collected some intel. I like the way
That's right.
So
that's right. Yeah. Well, so hey, we both did our intel.
Yeah. Got to.
Oh gosh, these fruit flies.
I think I brought them in with the cookies. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm gonna take that one.
Trust me, we've been having issues with them for a minute. Like one of the shows that come on Tuesdays, they always talk about how they feel like they bring the fruit flies with them. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on, but we gotta get it together up in the studio. But anyway, what I wanted to know from you, because you've been on the grind for a very long time. And what I want to know is like, what have been like the differences you've seen in the game from when you first came in to now, in terms of not just not just this particular scene that you represent, but also just hip hop in general. Like, what have you seen grow? What have you seen regress? Just your own observations and your experience within that.
What they say? When I first started, I guess performing, I will say as an adult, it was still it was 1999.
Okay.
So you didn't have actual access to like a studio probably, especially if you were doing low level recording. If you had access to a studio, you probably had a show.
Right.
You were a recorded artist.
Yeah.
And Pro Tools didn't exist, or any user friendly at home version.
Right.
So we'll fast forward to them. We'll start from there. That's when I noticed the shift. We'll say 2004 when I was able to like start recording myself. Shout out to Count Fifth because I met him, he went to Full Sail and came back and he had Pro Tools. That's when I discovered 2003.
Okay.
And 2004 for guarantee. End of 2003.
Yeah.
So that's when I noticed the shift because that's when I noticed like people starting to perform over their whole tracks or having ad libs.
Yeah.
And I remember that still got you clowned and made fun of.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is whack. Like, what are you guys doing? This isn't like a room this big, which no insult to this room. This is this is an amazing space for a studio.
Yeah.
But this is not if let's hypothetically say you play a beat later and I'm supposed to rap. If I hold my phone up playing backing vocals, that's not sufficient.
Right.
I didn't do my job.
Right.
So that changed because I know now it's totally commonplace. No one cares. That's different. One of the big things that we're gonna, and this could be its own thing. Freestyling still meant making something up right there on the spot. Though we knew a lot of these LimeWire tracks we were seeing Eminem freestyle. The reason this to him, but everybody knows back then your freestyle was just unreleased material. Some of it, when you were all signed, those guys weren't risking off the head.
Right.
We knew that.
Right.
And to when the Wake Up Show and those kind of shows, when we knew that when they were on there, that was either like a track that they had recorded and was being mixed and mastered, and we might hear in 4 to 6 months, or it was a verse off a song that didn't make an album.
Right.
That was my favorite because that's when this might be they're gonna spit this on an entire promo run.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now when we can go back and dissect these things, we hear they weren't freestyles. Some of them you knew weren't freestyles. People stopped full on freestyling a while ago, but I remember when you would still get cats freestyling on Mad Skills was still. I'm from the era where Mad Skills was still calling Flavor 1580 and battling whoever would answer the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something that changed. Being the best really doesn't seem to matter anymore, and it doesn't matter for sales at all. We keep thinking.
Right.
And then Kendrick Lamar, somebody like that, does. So someone I consider to be skilled. Even J. Cole, who I have a track coming up where I took a shot at him because it's 3 years old. The song's 3 years old. Yeah. And I just decided not to change it because why not? But when he did a song where I think he made all the beats, no features, probably had a hand in mixing and mastering, and it went double platinum. I consider that to be a success. I'm sure more marketing had involved in justice, whatever. But if the record was whack, it still would have done.
Right.
Swiss
Exactly.
Beats did a one-man band joint, and they spent $80 million on marketing, and I don't think it was platinum.
No, not at all.
So that's no shot at Swizz, especially if he wants to give me a free beat. But I wouldn't pay him for one, But just I've seen a bunch of different trends and stuff, and the old head in me wants to talk about how they're good or bad. I'm just the artist in me just notices and doesn't necessarily care anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Up until 18 months ago, I'm sure I would have ranted against the clothing. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
There's always been suspect and awkward behavior.
Yeah.
You're not gonna pretend
right.
like it hasn't.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So we're talking about the music. Oh, and not rapping. Not rapping became a thing. Really, really not rapping.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Popular.
That became a thing, thing. And the styles that we used to do when we were drunk or on otherwise goofing off over top of beats became a style.
Right.
Double time, which was already a thing, double time done poorly became something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like a bunch of things happen where it's like, oh, I can't do this, so I'm gonna struggle through it and call it something else.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that doesn't work in any other industry, like in in the carpentry. You can't do like a half-cocked job and just be like, oh, well, I meant for that to happen.
Right.
Because somebody's gonna die.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's
That is
protocol,
a
even
heck
in
of
like
an analogy. Wow.
you know, even in medicine, hip hop and music in all genres is the only spot where you get to say I did it. This is who I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't just be like, I'm a doctor, and then tomorrow they're gonna hire you at a hospital.
Right.
Like, hey man, I know how to do AV. I'm gonna hook all your stuff up, and then I show up and it's not done right, and then like I don't do it well, and then you're like, hey man, what are you doing? I'm like, look, I just told you I did it. I don't actually. You never asked for my credentials.
Right.
The music's the only spot where it's like, yo, I'm good at this, and then we're gonna put a bunch of music to make you say think I'm good, and then I'm not any good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, even sports, you gotta like play for years. You gotta get drafted.
Exactly.
You get evaluated.
Exactly.
So to me, it's the gift and the curse. Anybody can do it. And
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah. Right.
So that's the last shift I noticed. Is like now with the advent of all this, wonderful technology, which I don't want to spit in the face of any of it.
Right.
Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
So you get those, you get what you're gonna get. You get what you pay for.
Yeah. It waters down after a while.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying. But the plus side of it is, you
can have advancements you weren't expecting, like, like when the shift from like 73 to 78, and then like 78 to 83, and 83 to 88. And like I'm sure people are like, man, why these dudes rapping all fast?
Mm-hmm.
At least one person was like, this Rakim guy, man, he's
right.
doing too much.
Right.
Just doing too much.
Right.
Then eventually it was like, yo, all right, this is now the watermark. That happens. You know what I mean? Like even Freestyle Fellowship, for example.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. 1989 is the first like recording of Mike and Nine. She called his name Microphone Mike back then. Rhyming double time because they were rhyming over the loops on jazz records.
Yeah.
And so, I'm sure somebody was like, "Yo, that's corny." Yo, that's corny. And then Bone Thugs does it, and it's like, "Yo, this is revolutionary."
Right. Although at first people were kind of giving that to them too.
Exactly. On the Creeping on the Come Up EP. But by the time, boom, boom, boom,
Right.
boom, boom,
Right.
by the time that came out, everybody's like, yo, I'm the biggest fan. Not even knowing that was a remix. That wasn't even the album version.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Yeah. They polished it up.
Ain't no way around. You know what I mean? And the worst part is I can't even help but sing a couple lines because it's like sunk in my head too.
Right. Yeah.
So and ain't nobody gonna and as much as I might have just made that sound silly, ain't no artist gonna tell you they wouldn't want a crossroads.
Right.
Everybody wants to stumble on a crossroads.
Right.
You know how dope it would be to be like, sitting there writing, you record something, drop it, and all of a sudden you wake up the next morning and you're like, yo, you just sold 10 million ringtones and blah, blah, blah. Like, for real? Like, I wasn't even going to put that one out.
Right.
Like, well, that's crazy. Yeah. All right, well, what we going to buy today?
Right.
Let's buy my mom another house. You know what I mean? Right? Let's do it. Like, who doesn't want that? Like, as much as I used to rail against that, that's the difference in why, like, now I finally started doing press. Started to rein in my answers and things like that is because I would love to buy my mom a house just off of rapping or whatever, which never really mattered to me before. Not like that, like because my mom has a house.
Yeah.
And it's like but she want to upgrade it. You know what I mean? Like I would love just the thought of I had a proposal that I turned down a couple years ago, which I wish I had. And now I can't think of why I did it. You know what I mean? And I won't be specific because I know that my mindset then was like, oh no, man, I'm compromise.
Yeah.
Nah, you know what I mean? I'd have compromised my PayPal all the way to the bank. You know what I mean? Like that, because it wasn't now with the weight it had then.
Yeah.
I could have still looked at myself in the mirror and still held my kids, but at the time I was like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm not even willing to, my comfort zone limited me.
Yeah.
From that.
That's growth.
Yeah,
That's growth
right
there.
Or common sense, I guess. You know what I mean? Like
a combination of both.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, they talking commas, boy. What are you doing? It's like, that's a compromise on my character. Is it? Did you even consider it?
Right.
Or does it just sound like it? You're unwilling. You know what I mean?
So, right. That's a Very good point.
Yeah,
Very
it's
good
like
point.
what's the goal is now. It's like, all right, let's think logistically and emotionally. If they match,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
If they don't, what's logic?
Right. Right. Exactly.
And then you can process and decompress later.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's great points, man. Great points.
You know, and also even if you can't even handle that, just law number one.
That's right.
You know, like just that simple.
Right.
Cheeto code, Art of War, like just read a book. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like I'm sure like almost every quality self-help book or instructional manual or whatever, one of the first things they say, even if you read, I'm pretty sure it's in like the SAS survival guide, even like do it at home carpentry books, the first thing they say is you measure twice to cut once.
Right. Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the goal.
It is. It is. So let's talk about some of these projects you got. So.
Oh yeah, I make music.
Yeah. So this album that you have with DJ Alchemy as is it Wasp 18B?
Yeah, Wasp 18B.
Yeah. So the mechanism of action, man. Let me tell you, I was listening to that in the car. It's like that album is perfectly engineered for, like, you know how people always talk about passing the car test, like that album passes the car test because that thing is so sonic, man. It's
Alchemy, you hear that? Yeah.
Man,
No,
those beats and then like the rhymes, like everything just well put together, man. Like it's a great album right there.
So we actually have 3 more ready.
Okay.
I've got to re-record lyrics, so we got a whole process which I won't put it all out there. I'll make it. But yeah, we did that one, and we run everything like I pick the beats and write and all that. He sends me stuff.
Okay.
Pick everything together.
Mm-hmm.
But Wasp 18B, and because I write all the lyrics, that's on me to like do the Wasp 18B is a planet that actually it orbits its sun with Wasp 18.
Okay.
And it's called a hot Jupiter. I think it's 100 times the mass of Jupiter.
Wow.
And it rotates around its planet in like 7 hours, and it just decreases in orbit it's gonna smash into the sun eventually, really, really soon.
Wow.
And its mass may have the mass to knock its sun off course, thus altering the course of the rotation of the entire solar system.
Oh wow.
Which would have in effect its entire galaxy. That was where the idea came from.
Okay.
And mechanism of action just to me sounded like a metal record or something. It sounded like
it does. And
so to me it was like I didn't want anybody to know what it would really in for. Like if you stumble upon it, then you're like, this is what I expected. And then as far as hip hop goes, Wasp 18B, mechanism of action. It sounds like it's gonna be some stiff cardboard, like right? It's like lyrical. You know, like, and then it's not necessarily that.
No, it's not.
I addressed a few topics on there. The anti-domestic violence / anti-child molestation track. That has a little fervor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I addressed suicide, which I kind of slyly do it, but in Wet Cement. That's a joint about suicide.
Yeah,
I wrote just what I meant, and I wrote just what I meant in my words. Like with Wet Cement, as I attempt to reach the point at which I can't be second guessed, and then we sampled Robin Williams. At the beginning, at the end, and then I say choked up, cinching and tighter, fighting for every breath. That's the first bar. Yeah, no, it's about doing something, finding what you love to do, and do it till it kills you, till you kill the desire, till you kill it. I can't remember it. I'm sure it's all deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's super, super deep. But yeah, that project, put that out on my label, my imprint, Stone Maple, combined with combined with Mean Business Records, which DJ Alchemy, he's based out of Wales.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a whole nother thing. But I and I gleefully steal like every beat of his that I want.
Yeah.
I have so much material with him in different formats, which kind of interesting because I started. I'm now building my next project with Man Bites Dog Records.
Okay.
Now with Man Bites Dog, like there's other people involved. Like Ryan and Dustin are involved. So that's where we're gonna build it different. Like for example, I'm off the rest of the day. Took this off today. I'll do an EP today if my ear is the only one that's got it. Be cool with everything. I already hit up a gang of producers, but like, so now we're taking. I'm gonna get all these beats. We're gonna pick the beats together, and like I'm gonna reference stuff. Like, but we're gonna build this over months. Yeah. And during that time, I've wrapped up everything else. I got a gang of stuff that's only gonna be available on Bandcamp or on my Spotify or whatever. Right. But then when I'm like on a tour or promoing Man by Dog, I'm just gonna talk about that record. Yeah. Just excuse me. I figured out the cheat code as far as getting music. You know what I mean? And the one thing I will say, I'll give one tidbit or one secret or whatever away to the aspiring artists. Make sure you have access to your equipment. Invest in yourself. For 4 or 5 trips to the studio, you could have owned a basic studio. So save the trip, throw the money in the shoebox. Don't cop a Molly or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, not even to, you know what I mean? Not even to be funny, but 5 or 6, and I know you weren't laughing at that, but 10 or 15 times of not enjoying something you don't necessarily need. Right. And now you've just bought yourself a computer, and get yourself Pro Tools. Basically, you get Pro Tools or whatever. I say Pro Tools, I consider it user friendly. You can get a decent model of Pro Tools. Yeah. It'll come with an interface. Yep. It comes with everything and all the software. Yeah. You find out, you buy it. See what specs you need. You can look it up on the internet. Buy a computer that has those minimum specs, just a little bit higher. Yeah. Buy a microphone, almost any condenser microphone and a pop filter, and now you're good. Right. Right. You're good. Yeah. Learn that. Keep playing with that. Do references. But now, you can all you have to need is a friend to come over and push buttons for you. Yeah. And now you can do work remotely. Boom. After a few years, you can record yourself and quality control yourself. Right. And mix your own projects and send them off to be mastered. And then a few years in, you can master it. Like, but now, hey, I'm off today. Right. Right. I'm gonna record an entire EP. Like the project I just dropped. I did all that in one day.
It's Agree Bleed?
Yeah. Did all that in one day.
Yeah, because I like how you did that. Like, it was all one track, but like a bunch of tracks within the one track. You know
that's a shout out to Buck 65.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I can't say that.
Okay, yeah. See, all right. So he's a Canadian cat. Okay. And what he used to drop like 60-minute projects, and it would all be one track. And it was on CD. So, and it was on a CD player. So when you put it in, that's it. You listen to the whole thing, and there wasn't no skipping to the whatever unless you kept track of it. Right. So you had to listen to the whole thing, and it was either annoying or genius. Right. And that's when I made the realization a long time ago that there's a fine line between like genius and whack. You know what I mean? But you got to fully commit. Right. Right. It's all about the commitment. Yeah. And it doesn't matter, like, you know, like in movies, you know, the only way they find out if they can fly is they got to go up way high and just drop. Right. Right. And if they don't fly. Yeah. But if they do, you know what I mean? So, what is it, you know? And I think it's even a quote a lot of, like, girls are getting tattooed on them, like, but what if you fly? You know what I mean? Like, that was mean. I didn't mean, that was way more mean-spirited than I felt. Dudes get silly joints, too. Like, laughing out, crying.
Right.
Yeah, I balanced it out.
You
right?
did. Very good.
But yeah, man. I got a few things going. I got my Bandcamp. You know, I'm sure I'm supposed to plug everything, but my Bandcamp has like, apparently my homeboy said he downloaded it all. Wow. Discography's like, I got a bunch of free stuff on there too, but it's like $25. He said he drove like a distance, and it only like repeated like a couple of songs.
Oh wow. Okay.
But he had to like buy a jump drive to download. I was like, I didn't even realize that much stuff on there. Yeah. Wow. And then like, I guess my SoundCloud's got like 20 something features. I definitely do features. I just saw everybody just put that out there. Yeah. Again, my time, I'm gonna be cutting it. What's her name?
AJ.
No, I know your name.
Yeah.
What's the next? I'm bad with names.
Oh, Tamar Bubble.
Tamar Bubble. I don't want to cut into Tamar Bubble's time. Stay tuned in. Yeah, my friends and everybody included. After I leave, check out Tamara.
Yeah.
I don't want to cut into her time, but
yeah,
like I said, we are cutting short on time. But yeah, like definitely check out my Bandcamp and all that, because I do sell features, and I got on SoundCloud and YouTube. I got like a list of them. It's like give you a little sample, but yeah, I got a couple little records out there.
Yeah.
And the next few are going to be the ones I'm most proud of, because they're only like a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
You know how it works. Like you start getting the channel backed up.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, give me 1 second, because you talked her up, and she just hit me on IG.
Yeah, of course, because like I said, I don't want to interfere. I've been told I can be long-winded.
It's all good.
It works well when you're rapping. You know what I mean? Like it definitely works well when I'm on stage.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Which I'll be on stage this Friday. Actually, I almost forgot to say at Howard Homecoming.
Yes. Please
I'll be on Front Street. Listen Vision Studios. I don't remember the exact address, but Listen Vision Studios. I'll be on Front Street.
I think that's 2622 George Avenue.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's only because I've had to plug a bunch of times for other people doing stuff there.
And so Howard Homecoming.
Yes, sir.
I got a couple minutes in front of the alumni and their families alike, and I'm a little excited.
He's curbing his enthusiasm, y'all.
Yeah, just slightly, just a smidge.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and this is a great conversation.
Yeah, I think you meant to put me on the spot with some bars, but I think we ran.
Oh no, we still got time for the bars.
Okay.
That's why I was trying to, leave some room for that. So we gonna go ahead and let this beat drop real quick. He likes surprises, staying with the brand, So let's go ahead and let it rip.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There's another one, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Well, you avoided the disaster that I naturally bring. I break the shackles of the stature that you casually claim. The reign infinite, king to the end of the known universe. Super duty, illuminate brutal music, abuse your repeat. Matador with horns, combatants have been born. Here to clarify each statement just in case you're misinformed. Normal vibration from calm and calculated. One shot, one kill, all premeditated. I regulated the problems and never made it an option to deviate from specific conditions. You told to follow locked in survival techniques that they can't teach. Instinct, never really known the need of plan B. Plant seeds in the sturdiest soil, testing their fortitude. Knowing I got more to win, also I got more to lose. These mortal dudes are borderline botulism, and no matter what they do, I prove my only competition. Get them. This was it rolls over on an 8, if I remember correctly, and then it comes back in. I'm gonna do something. I've been doing this a lot. I'm gonna see if I can edit it.
Alright. Yes,
It
sir.
sounds like it'd be fun to this one. Yeah. Coming, bringing the thunder, pumping the bass of yourself, or something amazingly cunning up in the place of my brothers. Suffocating these suckers, smothered in bass just covered the ways of no other. I'll thump your face and you love it. Public execution, everybody grab a stone. Old-fashioned blind justice, finish up, drag 'em home. Traveling mastodon back in the saddle daily. Classical clavicle, that'll emasculate them babies. Better handle it with lucky hands and never panic. Reprimanded amateurish bammers have to set a standard. Silverback and its skill on the track immaculate. Killing the Babylonian throwing my tabernacle ish I preach. Hit these vermin with a burning sermon. The beat kicks to get urge and me to murder verses. Fertile surface for fresh growth and no pests. I heat the atmosphere around you with my cold breath. You're gonna get bit trying to muzzle hungry lion. See what we wanna in this wild country grinding. Yo, then throw my flow on the road in hydroplane south. Rained out, brain mouth, symmetry to gain clout. We're 2 and 2 together, committed to 4-4. Melodies are clever and admitted with more floor. Living with stored up aggression, selling wholesale. And on these lame duck rappers riding coattails. Feather dust in the blown spot for fingerprints. We never touch it, can crush them when the banger hits. More explosives from K5th. Spray gift, makeshift, elevator flavor, I stays lift. Yo, pulse cannon, I'm standing man in the battleship. Ripping up all your plans of the hand that I brand my cattle with. Hammer the nail in the call, the stamina's favor. The call is cautious, but brazenly palm this toss of grenades. I'm a monster.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah, I never done that one edited before. That's
Bars! Bars! That's all you can say after that. Bars!
I brought a couple of them.
Man,
You know what I mean?
great. My man came through represent. Look, I'm telling y'all artists right now, y'all come on here, tough act to follow. Tough act. Man, killed it.
Nah, man,
Killed it, bro.
that's one of the ones, real quick, that's one of the ones when I used to do my all vinyl set. I wanted that one, right? The record for like, for like, we found it on YouTube, but I didn't know how to pull joints off YouTube.
Ah, okay, yeah.
That almost made it in my set a couple times, but I never actually like got to rock with it. So yeah.
I got it.
Well,
there
nice
you
surprise,
go.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad. Very
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Got a
yeah,
history
yeah,
to
yeah.
it. All right.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing, man. Before I go, cats, y'all don't understand. Also, when you see your favorite artist struggle during one of those, they knew that it was gonna happen. It's never completely spontaneous, and sometimes they get to pick the beat and pretend that they didn't. Because I had the option to pick the beat, we could have played it off, but no.
Yeah.
So when you see so and so struggle, they're not good.
Right.
They get paid to do one thing, and they couldn't do it. I didn't even get paid. I had to work harder the day before and today and tomorrow to take the day off from my job.
Yeah.
I don't get that. This isn't the one thing I get paid to do. If they can't do as well as I did or better, and they get paid to do it, they're not good.
There it is.
And that's it.
That's bars right there.
Yeah, like I said, Tamara, I apologize. I didn't mean to cut into your time.
It's all good. It's all good. She will be calling in about 2 minutes. So yeah. So appreciate you once again, and I'm gonna let you introduce On God to the public.
Oh man, yeah. Produced by my man DJ Criminal, cuts by DJ Criminal. If you happen to stumble upon the video, it was shot by Arc 7 Media, edited by Arc 7 Media. All I did was rap on it, man. That's it. Like this.
And killed it.
I barely take any credit. That one was there. That one was like a gift. I just happened to put the beat on it and saw the word. Like that one, manna from heaven. Yeah. At the risk of making a bad pun. Yeah. And I put that on God.
I see what you did there. All right, y'all. On God, Empuls, right here. Bars.
I get built to burn bridges with the same words. Watch a brain burst. Egg-headed chicken came first. Then the people did my style dirty. Turned me to a wild turkey 101. Nobody wanna hunt. Owning up to the suspicious ways. Accumulating status called a heretic. Considered a sacrificial statement. Never made it through the final line gate. Great accomplishment. Process in and out. Personal recognizance. Word is born and never unsecure. People that I heard before deserve it more than me. So I converted force. Reverse the course of all attacks. Monkeys off my back. Feel sympathy. If you think this is an act, I crack the mold with golden wings and fly the skies with older steam. I use discretion and protective thoughts, but still I show my teeth. We play this game, I hide and seek. Tell every savior you believe. Never learn to spare the rod, and I put that on God. Prayers in your thoughts for every victim you forgot. I let the guilt strike them silently, confine them to the clock. Not the type to stop the voices, but choices they provide and are destructive in the nature. They're also quite exciting, biting the dry, the hide of the last vice and the died, fighting the proudest and loudest. The pride that's line is Dionysus. My advice is always better. I have little emotion, disassociated normally, misfortune in the focus. Photographic memory, remember never's a cloudy term. Make mistakes from the daily and daddy learn. Not everyone will get a turn. For all parties that's concerned, I got a signature scar from every bridge I can burn. Got a jar full of flies, circling around my eyes with accumulated energy. Always judge why we play this game. I hide and seek. Tell every savior you believe we exist to do a job, and I put that on God.
We hope you didn't go too far. It's time for the second hour of the Balancing Act radio show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I was hoping we wasn't having technical difficulties. Good afternoon to you.
Hey, brother on deck.
Yes,
what
yes,
up with
yes. I'm doing well. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good.
I can't complain.
That's good. Well, welcome. Long overdue to bars.
Word.
Yeah. So I definitely gotta start off by I gotta shout out my cousin Darnell. He's actually the one that first put me onto you 2 years ago. You had a song you had a song called Dutch that you put out at that time, and I was like, he put me onto you. I was like, okay, all right, she got some bars and she talking some stuff. All right. So the journey just kept going, and you've you just been putting out so much good music in between that time, and I mean even well before I first got on to you. So I definitely have to shout him out for putting me on to you, and you're dope.
Wow. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So this is how I wanted to start things off with you. So in your bio, you say, picture the ultimate blend of pop, R&B, jazz, soul, and hip hop, music that defies genre. And what I've noticed, like just following your career and everything that you've done, like you definitely make kind of like a melting pot. You know what I'm saying? Of like all of that. Like it's not all the way hip hop. It's not all the way R&B. It's not all the way pop. It's not all the way one thing. It's like a little bit of everything. And that's a very masterful thing to do. Not everybody can do that and do that successfully. So
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to know, like, who are some of your influences that have kind of sort of contributed to that really diverse style that you bring to the table?
Yeah, I would say top of the list is probably Michael Jackson, just as a performer in general. And I think what I respected most about him is that it didn't matter what subject matter he sung about. He just, like, he could sing about chicken and, like, people would pass out. And that always got to me, like, yo, it's not even necessarily the song that he's singing or the lyrics that he's singing, it's him. And just his delivery and his conviction to it, the way no matter what he sung, you believed him. And I feel like maybe even Tupac was similar on that level, but just in the rap world. Like, he could do a Brenda's Got a Baby and then do, like, some kind of twerk anthem song, and it still worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you believed him no matter what it was he was singing or rapping about.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what influences me. Definitely, I have a gospel background, and I also just love harmonies. So, like, all the 90s groups, I used to listen to them like crazy, like In Vogue, Brownstone, SWV, 702, Jodeci, 112. Like, if it was an R&B group, male or female, I was listening to them. Boyz II Men, all of them. So I always, like, put harmonies in my music. But then the rap, I think I have to credit Biggie. I think I have to credit Lil' Kim. I think I have to credit Lauryn Hill and Missy Elliott. Those are probably, like, the main, those are some of the main influences, like, throwback ones.
Yeah. And it's funny that you mentioned Missy, because honestly, like, she was one of the first people I thought about when I first got exposed to. Like I can definitely see, you know, her. I can see the Michael Jackson influence. I can see honestly all of those influences, especially when it comes down to your singing, because that's one thing that that jumped out to me when it came to your sound and your style of singing. Like I can definitely tell like that 90s era of R&B like really like shaped your sound, and it shaped like the way you lay down harmonies, because harmony is one of those things for me, you know, naturally being a Libra, like that's kind of like in my nature. But like just you know, like just listening to music, I always like really good harmonies, and I can tell those people who grew up listening to groups or artists who that's like a huge foundation of their sound, and that's definitely, you know what I'm saying, when you do things, it's definitely a huge foundation of your sound as well, and that's one of the biggest things that I appreciate about you as an artist.
Dope. Thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Bubble, how did the bubble part of your persona? How did that come about?
I'm always laughing. I'm always smiling. The personality. Females said it because of my personality, and when dudes said it, it was like physical. So the name just kind of stuck. People just started calling me Bubble.
I got you.
Yeah.
I was wondering, you know, was it a combination of the two, and now I have that confirmation.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's another thing. Like just thinking about bubble or bubbly. You know what I'm saying? Like your personality on wax, and even like, you know, the things that you do, like with your online videos and things, like you really do have like a bubbly, sprightly personality. You know what I'm saying? So like you definitely live up to your name that way. I can't speak. I'm not gonna speak to the other part of that. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
you gotta come see me live. You gotta come see me live for the other part. Most people give it away online, but you gotta come see me live.
Right. Yeah, but another thing that I wanted to talk to you about was the fact that you, throughout your career, you consistently drop material, like whether it's singles, whether it's mixtapes, EPs, you know, full-length albums, whatever it might be. Like you are always like dropping material, and you know, I wanted to talk to you about, like, for you, the importance of like doing that, especially when you have consumers that in the days, you know, market, whereas sometimes people can forget about people quickly if you're not constantly dropping stuff, but also like, you know, like striking that balance between that and not over saturate, you know, not flooding with it. Like I feel like you have a nice balance of like making sure you're constantly in the consciousness of your consumers. So talk about the importance of that for you.
Definitely. We're definitely now in an age of like where consumers want just little bits and pieces, like breadcrumbs of your catalog. I don't feel like they want to hear 12 twerk songs from an artist.
Right.
Even like a major artist, like that's why major artists that do releases have mad features, because they're trying to give their listener something different than them the whole time. And so for me, it was just like I make a lot of music. Like I think over the last 2 years, I probably made close to 200 songs. Like that's how quickly I can crank out material.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like I can't release 200 songs at once. Like that's just crazy. So I'm always like just putting out like little, you know, either a single here, either like something could happen just currently, you know, throughout social media or just like online or just like current events, and that'll lead me to put out, oh, the people need to hear this. So I'm just, you know, giving them enough where it's not too much and it's not too little, so that they know I'm still here. Because I love creating, and I feel like a major artists have this much music too. They'll make like 70 songs and then just put out the album. When really they sitting on, you know, yeah, they have catalog. Like they've probably done so many cuts, but they just don't release it all. So for me, I'm indie. I can put out whenever I want, whatever I want. So it was always just like whenever I'm in the mood, y'all gonna get some new music because I have it.
Yeah. Because I know it's funny that you say that, like that a lot of major artists, major label artists have it, because I remember, I want to say it may have been like 98. I remember one of my college classmates saying that like Prince, you know, when he was alive, he probably had more by the time he passed away, But right around 98, this man was sitting on a backlog of 1,000 songs.
Yeah, I believe that.
And considering how much music he had put out to that point, like you talking like a 20, 21 year career at that point, like he was putting out albums, it seemed like every year, sometimes multiple albums in a year. So, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with like having that, because, you know, having that backlog or having that arsenal of music, because, you know, it could come to one day where it's like, you know what, I think I am going to release this song. Like I've been sitting on this one for a minute. You know, now this is the time to release this. Or it could just be a thing where it's like you get deeper in your career. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna release a album or EP or a mixtape of like unreleased songs that, you know, kind of like some B-sides, or like, you know, like Nas with the Lost Tapes, you know, something like that.
Right.
You know, so
right. It's
always good to have like that backlog of like just really good music. You know, and sometimes you just you honest with yourself and like, I recorded that, but do I really want to put that out? You know.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
I think artists, I guess they're just so precious with their material. They feel like they want to put out the best song, but you don't know the best song. Like I feel like the people will tell you that. So
right. Yeah.
I mean, you know, if something didn't come out good, like this song just not hitting, period. Like, no, I don't want to put this out. But like, there's a lot of material that I think is hidden, like that we don't even know, that's not out there. That's like, those are probably the real bops that people got. So it's always good to just kind of like put your music out there and see what the people gravitate towards. And then maybe you can make more of that, because you know how to do all of what you know how to do. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really do have to test the water a lot of times. In fact, one of my artist friends, that's what he does. Like he'll put out a song. He won't put it out as a single. Like he'll shoot like a little quick video for it, and like gauge how the people are feeling. Like if they vibe with that one, like that might be one that he might release a single for. He might put on an album. If they're not vibing with it, then he'll probably, you know, just, you know, tuck it away for a rainy day or something like that, or maybe go back to the drawing board and tighten some things up. So, you know, it's like you said, like the people will let you know if something is working or if it's not. So
yeah,
it's absolutely important to listen to your audience and be in tune with your audience. You know,
so, definitely.
Yeah. So one of the things I also wanted to talk to you is the fact that you don't just do music. Like you've had your show You Gonna Get Got. You've had the video podcast Bubble on Deck, and one of the things that I was talking to somebody recently about is the fact that, like, you know, we as creatives, at one time it was like, okay, you just rap, or you just DJ, or you just produce, or you just do these one thing, and that's it. But a lot of times, like now, you have a lot more people who are tapping into more of their creative sides. You know what I'm saying? Not just sticking to one lane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So talk about how that's important for you to like tap into as many areas of your repertoire and like expose that to people, also to build, you know, to help build your brand.
Yeah, I think definitely as an indie artist, you need to be good at a whole lot of stuff to like make some noise, or just to even be effective and get heard. You need to find out if you're good at shooting videos, like whether it's lyric videos or music videos or live performance videos. You need to find out if because you need content. So you need to always be doing stuff, always creating, always like editing, just seeing where your strengths are. And the people will let you know that too. Like they'll let you know if you're naturally funny. So don't try to be funny if you're not. Because you're going to get some people mad.
That's true.
But if you're good at editing, if you're good at like shooting stuff, if you're good at taking photos, you're going to need that, because you just need content to put out. So you need to be dope at the music, dope creatively in multiple areas, and you need to have your like business in order for it to like all work out in your favor.
Yeah, that's very true. That's one of the most important things that, you know, artists definitely, it's very easy for us as creators to focus on the creating part, but you definitely have to focus on the business part of it, because a lot of times focusing on the business part of it is as simple as, okay, this is my budget, this is what I can do. I may not be able to pay somebody to shoot my video, or I may not be able to pay somebody to do my artwork, or I may not be able to pay somebody to, you know, produce my beats or engineer my project. You know, like I was just talking to my previous guest, Impulse, and you know, one of the things that he was saying, like, if instead of spending money on certain things, if you can do it yourself, learn it yourself. And not to say, like, because the thing is, a lot of times you don't want to take money out of other people's pockets, but at the same time, if you can do it, and if you learn how to do it, and you get good at it, then why not do it yourself? You know.
Right. And I think too, as an indie artist, that's one of the things that kind of pushes your level of creativity, not having enough money. Because it teaches you to be resourceful. It teaches you to either like work with somebody that's dope and maybe give them a verse, and in exchange they'll shoot your video. So like you start to like figure out where your strengths are and figure out how you can leverage that to get you the other services that you need to pop off.
Right.
So yeah,
like a barter system, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're one of your last like projects that you put out, which was for me, and I'm sure a lot of people felt like this. Like for me, it was highly anticipated when you had start promoting for it and everything. Your favorite rapper is a girl, like.
Yeah.
let me tell you, you already know how many times I've told you about like a song like Rumors, like that was my favorite song on the project. But I mean, it was a very well balanced project. Like, I mean, you had a song like Rumors, you had a song like Give Me My Flowers, you had Laundry. Like, there's so many songs on there that like talked about so many different things. But one of the things that the way that I kind of wanted to talk about that album was really in like the bigger narrative of, because you know, a lot of times like we've heard people say, oh, you know, there are not enough, you know, women rappers out here, and you know, like it seemed like there's only one person like just running it. And I was listening to a DJ, it may have been like last week, how he was talking about a lot of times consumers can be lazy, in the sense of like there have been plenty of women rappers, like great women rappers out here, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing, you know what I'm saying. And so like for you, how do you feel like when you put out your favorite rapper as a girl, how do you feel like that fit into the narrative of like kind of sort of dispelling that myth that there aren't as many women rappers out here, number one, and then number two, how you feel like that kind of sort of like elevated your profile as well as an artist?
Yeah, so I think it just speaks to my level of confidence in the rap game, and just how I want to represent the ladies too. I wanted to showcase like like you said, the different variety and styles of songs, so you see what you're dealing with. But then also, that EP did really well for me in terms of like exposure, and actually I'm working on Your Favorite Rapper is a Girl too, so I'll make that announcement exclusive on here on Bars. Right. But yeah, I feel like it allowed me to just rep for the ladies. Like, it wasn't even to say I'm your favorite rapper. It was just to showcase like females are here and we popping. And I give it too, like there's so many artists out. I'm not even gonna say like that women aren't getting their proper due. I feel like you just have to work that much harder, because there is a lot of music out here. There's a lot of options. And I think if people listen to one rapper that's not that good, or two rappers that's not that good, and they feel like, oh, that's all of them, because it ain't that many out. There's just a lot. So if you want people like to respect female rappers, you have to like put yourself out there and make yourself known, and just like work so that you can set the bar for women. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I'm kind of glad we on that trajectory of the conversation. So how did you feel when Jermaine Dupri made his comments? Like, how did you kind of sort of take those comments when he said what he said?
Right. So I think that's just the amount of female rappers that he's heard. That's all he's seen. And that is one thing I will say. Like, it seems like the maybe the rappers that don't have the most positive messages get pushed to the forefront, because people just want to turn up, or they just want to party, or they just want to, whatever, twerk and have fun when they go out. So that's probably what you hear in mainstream. But, it's just everybody knows one or two like hidden gems that people don't know about, that's really out here popping and rapping and dope. And so it's just a matter of like helping to push that person to the top. So if you know a dope rapper, you need to be like shouting them out on your page and blasting them so that people are aware, you know, like put people on so they know and they don't speak like how he speaks and think that there's nobody out there. You know what I'm saying? So when he said that, what he got? A ton of people giving a ton of female rappers that are dope and that are out here and that are popping that he just wasn't aware of.
Right.
So you can't wait till somebody notices that, yo, nobody's out here or everybody out here rap about the same thing. You got to put them on before they even feel that way.
That's right. That's right. And
yeah.
And I'll be honest, like when I heard him say that, I felt like I felt two ways. I was like, one, I get it because of the caliber of women rappers that he came up with, specifically him working so closely with the Brat for so long.
Right. Yeah.
But then two, it's like, okay, but dog, you in the industry. Like if anybody should be keeping their ears to the ground, especially somebody who's, you know, he had that one reality show. What was it, the Rap Game, I think it was. Like I'm like, dude, you should, if anybody should be keeping their ear to the streets, it should be you, and you should know this. Like I think that's why I took issue with it, because it was way too general of a statement, and it's like it just sounded a bit on the lazy side, you know, because it's we have way too much access now as consumers to so much music that we don't have to settle for what the radio or what mainstream is pushing down, pushing in our faces, So I don't know. I guess that's how I took that, and on top of that, it's like, I guess for me, because I know so many dope artists all together, like especially like women artists, that it's like I when I heard it, I was like, bruh, like you gotta do more research than that. They out here. They've been out here. You know what I'm saying? So
I honestly didn't even, like, I didn't take offense to that, just because I was thinking it's almost like if somebody be like, if they come to me and be like, oh, you ugly, or they say something that's like, wow, out of pocket, it don't even bother you because you know it's not true. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I took his comment like that. It was like, oh, okay, he just don't know about me. Like, oh, okay, he just don't know about the dope ones. Oh, okay, he just haven't heard what he need to be listening to. Right. And at the same time, you almost can't fault him, because what's pushed to the forefront is what he's describing. Like, we're not going to sit around like they give equal play to somebody that keep their clothes on than they do to somebody that take their clothes off. Like, you're going to get more shine if you're willing to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're willing to put yourself out there like that.
Yeah.
And if you are, that's cool. But that's a lane that some people are not willing to go down, and so it takes them longer to get on.
Right.
And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
So I don't fault him for what he's saying, because to a certain degree, it is true, especially for the mainstream. Like, there's a certain like level you get to where they feel like they need to show themselves more to get more airplay or more attention or more exposure. Right. And my whole thing with that is, if you do that, make sure you're just as dope, so that people don't only want to see you, because like rap, you're supposed to be heard. Like, so that's the whole goal of it. And if they only want to see you, like, you really you playing yourself, really.
That's true.
But
yeah, you got to be balanced as an artist, and and that's I mean, just giving you your props for that. That's the thing that I respect about you, because you can, you know what I'm saying, you can do it all, and you can talk about it all. You have range, and I think that's what separates people who are rappers from the people who are artists, you know what I'm saying, or the people who are singers from the people who are artists. The fact that you can show range in your subject matter and your content, you know what I'm saying, and imagery. So definitely respecting you for that. Now let's talk about a lot of these placements you've been getting. You've been
Word.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, you've been on BET's Hustle in Brooklyn, on Hulu. You was on, you had a placement on Shrill, HBO's Black Girl Sketch Show, man. And then like you got your music playing in 24-hour fitness and Planet Fitness gyms. Man,
yeah.
That's,
and
I
recently got two commercials. One was AT&T, and one is Cadillac. That one is not out yet, but it's on the way. But yeah, so I focused on sync to be able to get more exposure and like get my name out there on bigger platforms. And so that was one of the things that I was saying, like, if people feel like there's dope artists and are out there, you have to work that much harder so that they know that you are out there. And so I feel like sync was a good way for me to get out there on major platforms where, eyes and ears are now hearing the music in these situations. And so I focus my efforts there, like, and that's why I just said I've been consistently like just cranking out new music so I can send it, you know, to these networks and the music supervisors that work for these different networks and TV shows and stuff, so that I can get my music, you know, in their situation and get it heard.
Yeah, and that's a really savvy way to go about getting your music heard, because I know, and I still get emails all the time about music placements. Like they'll be specific, like if you have music that is of the 80s time period, or you know, like, or if you have music that, you know, like kind of gets people rallied up for sporting events, like send your music. Like there are always opportunities out here for artists to do more than just, you know, worry about getting on radio or, you know, getting on somebody's blog or whatever it might be. Like there's so many different avenues to get your music heard. So like just seeing you know, getting all of these placements, I mean, I feel like it's inspiration not only for me as an artist, but for other artists out there that like, hey, you have these other platforms that you can do as well, you know, and tailor your music toward it.
Word. And just even the amount of like streams or streams of income that could come from this like one placement. So you get the placement, they're going to pay you up front to use your music. Then when it airs on TV, you're going to get, you know, money from your PRO on the back end.
Right.
And then if it gets exposed to millions of people, say your song get placed in Power, and millions of people watch that episode and then start streaming it like crazy.
That's
right. So you're getting exposure, you're getting money up front, you're going to get money on the back end, and then your stream's going to go up. Like, it's a win-win-win. Like, when I found out about Sync, I was like, yo, like, what am I doing? I need to be reaching people and give my music to them, because I'm hearing the shows. I hear music that is in my lane. Like when you watching a TV show, if you hear the music in the background and it sounds like something like you can hear your song in the same playlist, you should be reaching out to that music supervisor. Like, yo, I heard the music on that show. My music fit right in the pocket with that music. You know, check me out. So it's one of those things, because they need music.
Yeah.
Like you don't feel like you're bothering them, because they need it. They're gonna need it for the next season. They're gonna need it for the next episode, whatever. So it's just good to build with them. Like try to meet them at industry events and stuff. A lot of conferences, they have like sessions and panels on sync and licensing. So if you can go out and network and mingle with these people and show them, yo, look, I make this style of music, and I'm probably more affordable than the major label artists, because they're gonna come with an extra ticket, you know, an extra tax.
Right.
So. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you get yourself in there, and you know you can be featured on the same shows that they getting featured on. So yeah.
And I mean that's important for, you know, a lot of artists to know that, like, hey, I can, and that goes with studying, that goes with paying attention, like you just said, like listening to, you know, certain shows or noticing the trend of the music that they play on these shows and recognizing what you do, like, okay, I can fit in this particular bracket or whatever. Let me, you know, hit up this person. That's great advice right there. That's really great advice. Absolutely.
And you know what's so crazy? Like, there's so many TV programs and shows and just like new networks. Like, it's Amazon, there's Hulu, there's Netflix, there's Zeus TV. Like, and this is, I'm not even talking about all the cable shows and all the cable networks that's out. So like, if you think about it, it don't matter what kind of music you make, somebody's show needs it. And you just need to go find them and be like, yo, I can help you out. Right. You can help me out. Let's do this exchange. Let's make this happen. Yeah.
That's so smart. That's such great advice. Thank you for providing that advice to, you know, my listening audience, because I get a lot of artists who are, you know, looking for those types of opportunities. So yeah, that's great advice right there.
It's out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to close out talking about your latest single that you put out, Boss. You know,
let's do that.
Yeah. So like, what drove that particular song? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious in terms of like, you know, what you're getting across, but like, you know, like what inspired you to make that one?
A lot of times, there's no like good backstory around it. Half the time, it's I hear a song, I hear the beat, and the beat is dope,
Yeah.
And I literally just started saying the words to the song, like on first listen, like, oh, that's what this is. And so that was one of the things with this song.
Okay.
It was just kind of like the beat to me just seemed very aggressive and very like just in your face and like, this is what it is. This is what I am.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm a boss. So I'm just gonna rap about it. I'm just gonna sing about it. I'm just gonna show you about how queens move. You know what I'm saying? So, and that just was, it was just the vibe of the beat, really.
Yeah.
That brought on the delivery and the aggression and the, you know, in your faceness of the song.
Yeah. I mean, that's often how it works when creating music. Sometimes it's like, you know, like you just hear it and you. And I tell people this all the time. You let the beat tell you what to do, you know, versus you telling the beat what to do, you know. Like let the music dictate it to you, and, you know, you create from there. And I mean, it definitely fits. Like the whole vibe of it, it is aggressive, but it's a statement maker, you know. So so it's dope. Of course, it's dope. It's got that energy as all the music does, you know what I'm saying? So. What next do you have on the horizon? Like, are you planning on releasing any projects, like full-length projects, anytime soon? Any more placements that may be on the horizon that you can actually talk about? Because I know sometimes TV can be kind of tricky, what you can and can't talk about. So.
Right. So project-wise, definitely, Your Favorite Rapper Is a Girl Too. That one is definitely the next project coming out.
Right.
I may drop a couple singles before that one.
Okay.
But it should be like pretty early 2020.
Okay.
And then Sinks, I'm just, you know, definitely still pitching the music, still getting it out there, still working it behind the scenes. It's funny with like, you'll get a lot of like close calls, so where they'll be like, yo, we want to use the song, but maybe it's your song and another song up, or your song and two other songs up. So it's a lot of stuff that's like, I'm mad close. And hopefully I have some good news real soon.
Okay.
But yeah, I usually find out like really close to when they're actually either airing the episode or dropping the commercial. I usually find out maybe like a couple days before I can even announce it, and it's already out and live.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, when you do, I'm sure you'll hit me up, and you know you'll get you'll get plenty of plugs over here. So.
Yes, I got you.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Your Favorite Rapper Is a Girl Too, because the first one was dope. So I already know that the next one's gonna be fire. Absolutely. So thank you so much for coming on today, and just give everybody your social media handles and where they can find all of your music and everything.
Definitely. So I'm on all digital streaming platforms, and my official website is Tamara Bubble, TamaraBubb.com. All social media at Tamara Bubble, but I'm on, you know, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, Pandora, you name it. I'm out there. I'm just at Tamara Bubble.
All right, and thank you once again for finally coming on Bars. You know what I'm saying? This is a long time. I felt like it should have happened on my last radio show when I was on Breakout Kings, but you know, I'm glad I finally got you on, and I'm sure this won't be the last time.
It definitely will not.
Yes.
I'll be back.
yes, indeed. Looking forward to it. So I'm gonna let you introduce Boss to the people.
All right. What up, Bars? It's your girl Tamara Bubble on deck. Shout out to Gio who produced this. Shout out to Nikki who helped with the co-writing on this one. This one is Boss, BOSS. I'm a boss.
Yeah, yes indeed. And we'll be talking again real soon, all right?
All right, cool.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, that was Tamara Bubble, and this is her brand new song, Boss, right here. Bars.
Sometimes I rock a bow tie, but no tie, cause there ain't no competition. When it's go time, we voting like I'm the president of winning. I put in work, I'm still a boss. I put in work, I'm still a boss. Pay me my salary and commission, and I'ma spit my latest invention. But my loyalty is to that upfront. Yeah, I'm the ending that these labels want. I put in work, I'm still a boss. I put in work, I'm still a boss.
organizing any type of event to benefit the people in your neighborhood? Then submit it for the bar's community calendar. Send all important information, including point of contact, to balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
Now you looking for something like you could do better. When I do it all for you, you can't find better. I put in this time, don't you make me regret this moment. Don't you make me regret you. I forgot your name again. Delete you from my phone. I forgot your name like crazy. Don't mind me, I've been no more, no more. Way too good. Way too good for you. You need me. I've been there and done that. I remember this game. You think that you play. I remember this way. And you right at my time. I've been snatching your joystick and buzz all your buttons. I'll throw it right back to you, leave you with nothing. If you treat me this way, then your energy's off. So I guess you can't stay. You'll be gone by the morning. You can wake up now yawning without me. Don't doubt it. You gon' wake up and want me. Now you looking for something like you could do better. When I do it all for you, you can't find better. I put in this time, don't you make me regret this moment. Don't you make me regret you. I forgot your name again. Delete you from my phone. I forgot your name like crazy. Don't mind me, I've been no more, no more. Like you could do better. I put in this time, don't you make me regret this moment. I don't be dealing with pain. I don't be playing these games. I'm gonna live if I ever feel uncomfortable. I won't stay 'cause I see on the dirt that you're dope. Since you acting all brand new again, I delete your number and now I know that you know what I know. You're blocked from my phone, so please don't remind me, no. I deleted your name and your number. Please don't be looking for something like you could do better. When I do it all for you, you can't find better. I put in this time, don't you make me regret this moment. Don't you make me regret you. I forgot your name again. Delete you from my phone. I forgot your name like crazy. Don't mind me, I've been no more, no more.
It's time to get back to AJ Throwback and Bars, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah, that was, once again, Tamara Bubble with Forgot Your Name. And before that, we had Boss, two of her newest singles that she has out now. You can find it on all digital media platforms. So thanks again to Tamara Bubble for calling in. And of course, thanks again to Empuls for coming in today, bringing in bars, you know what I'm saying, live and on wax, you know what I'm saying. We had two really dope artists today. Yeah, let's go ahead and get to this right here.
It tastes just like it smells. Delicious, delicious.
Right before you take that long-awaited break and get your grub on, come and get a hefty helping of life and laughter, courtesy of stories about our beloved Team Bars El Capitan. It's time for Luncheon with the Misses, only on Bars.
So, just when I thought last week things couldn't get any better when it came to what my lovely wife did for me for my 40th birthday. For those of y'all who may not have seen last week, may not have seen, yes, I did celebrate my birthday, September 28th. Now 40 years old, I'm no longer in my 30s, and still kind of getting adjusted to that thought that yeah, I'm no longer in my 30s anymore, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, just when I thought my wife couldn't level up, hold on, I see you talking out here. Can you hear me now? Hope you can hear me now. But yeah, so I was appreciative for being able to hang out on my actual birthday. But hold on. Sorry, y'all. I gotta make sure I'm doing like, sound checks here and there. Cause sometimes I'll be talking and my lips are moving, but people don't hear me. But hopefully y'all hear me now. But anyway, so I was appreciative of being able to hang out on my actual birthday. I went to dinner, and then I ended up hanging out at Facetti's. I got to see familiar faces, as I said last week. But I'm a family guy. Like I'm the type of person. Family is very important to me, and being able to spend my special occasions with the people I love the most is very important to me. And so when I wasn't able to spend my actual birthday with my family because my wife she wasn't feeling too well, and even if she was, she would have had to work that entire weekend. So either way, a lot of things wouldn't have been able to happen that weekend. And as the week progressed, I was hoping certain days we'd be able to get to hang out, but we didn't end up hanging out until Saturday. But good things come to those who wait, and let me tell you, before we even went out, let's talk about Friday. The Friday before we went out. So last Friday. My favorite. What's funny is my favorite cake is German chocolate cake, and I made myself because y'all know those of y'all who've been following me, y'all know I eat keto, so I don't eat anything with sugar. I don't eat any bread or pasta or anything like that. Low carb, high fat, and so. I made myself a German chocolate cake the week before. It was cool. It wasn't bad for my first one. It actually tasted pretty good. But let me tell you, this woman made me a keto Kentucky butter cake. Now, when she told me she was making a cake, I was like, okay, I'm sure it's going to be good. I did not expect it to be the absolute best cake I've ever tasted in my entire life. Yes, I am making that declaration today, right here on Bars, October 9th, 2019, at 12:50 p.m. My wife made the best cake I've ever tasted in my life. Joint was really, really delicious. And so, man, she was already setting up the festivities for the next day. Let me tell y'all how good it is. You can eat it cold, you can eat it warm, it doesn't matter. Either way, that thing just melt in your mouth. It's like nice and buttery and sweet. It's like, delicious. So that was Friday. Then Saturday, we ended up going to, she ended up taking me to Texas Roadhouse in White Marsh. And, look, I get to eat with my family. I'm really excited about that. I got to, anybody who's ever been to a Texas Roadhouse, if you have a birthday, they might wheel out a saddle for you. And it's not like one of those saddles like if you go to a rodeo or one of those, kind of like Texas-like bars where you ride the thing and they see how long you can ride it. It wasn't anything like that, but at the same time, it was still pretty cool. And I got to sit in the center of the aisle, and everybody sang happy birthday to me. I like stuff like that. A lot of people I know, they like, man, don't be telling nobody it's my birthday. I don't want them coming over singing those songs. No, sing me songs. When it's my birthday, sing me all the songs. Please do. So if you ever hang out with me on my birthday and you're wondering if I'm that person, yes, I'm that person. I'm that person that likes the attention. I'm that person that likes the songs. I'm that person that will ride out on a saddle in the middle of the aisle and swing around a napkin like it's a lasso because it's my birthday. I'm that person. I'm cool with that. Anyway, so had a good time, ate real good. But then after, eating a nice hefty steak, Texas Roadhouse, she drives across the street and takes me to iFly Baltimore. And if y'all don't know about iFly, it's indoor skydiving. Because I told her, and I gotta shout out my homegirl, the Wonho. She was the one that kind of sort of got me pumped to want to do real skydiving. So, I told my wife I wanted to go skydiving at some point. of me being 40. And so she got in there, Brian, like, like maybe we can ease you into the real skydiving with indoor skydiving. So like when she pulled up, I was like, ooh. So, like I'm like super excited. Like I'm not even really nervous because I'm seeing other people fly around and like in the wind tunnel, and like it's looking like really fun, really cool, especially when they go all the way, like not all the way up, but like to like the midway point of the tunnel, because that's as far as they take the people who fly, like the instructors, they take the people who fly. So we went up to like midway, but I don't want to get too far ahead. So because I'm so excited, like the adrenaline rush that it gives you, I got something to say about that. But so we watching the people in the tunnel, and so it's this guy, he's in the tunnel, and he doesn't get like the helmet that the guy at the front counter tried to sell us, because when he tried to sell it to us, my wife, I looked at her, I was like, can we get it? She's like, nah. Like she ain't saying, but she just looked at me like, nah, because it's an extra $10. So, but when we saw the one guy in the wind tunnel who didn't have this particular helmet, it's a G3 helmet, he didn't have this helmet, and his face is just like, if you can see this online, he's looking like, that's how his face is looking in the wind tunnel. And so she's like, I don't know about that. And then, I mean, she wasn't like moving right away to go get the helmet, but I go in the training room with my instructor, come out, and the guy's like, oh yeah, you've been upgraded to a G3 helmet. I was like, I bet. My wife playing mama bear, So we get there, and like I get in, it's my turn to go in the tunnel, and at first when we were just like kind of lower to the ground, it wasn't really that like scary or anything like that. I was like nervous for maybe about 5 or 10 seconds before I actually went in the tunnel. It's kind of like for me, like going on stage rapping. It's like that short little time where you're nervous, but then you hit the stage, and it's like, okay, I'm ready. So, but then when you went up higher, oh my gosh, it was like the biggest adrenaline rush ever in life. When I was telling my homie about it, my homie Country about it, he was like, is it better than sex? I was like, hold on. I'm not gonna go that far, but I am gonna say this. I've never gotten an adrenaline rush like that from having sex. And I'm just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? It's two different types of feelings, and y'all don't hear me talk about sex that often, and I'm not that person. But at the same time, that rush, there is nothing I've ever experienced in life that was that rush. And imagine that was indoor skydiving. So just imagine what outdoor skydiving was or would be like, which is the next endeavor for me. I'm definitely going outdoor skydiving. Because let me tell you, the adrenaline rush, it lasts for so long after you do it. So I will be putting video up on probably both pages, my HA Throwback DC page and also the Bars on Air page. So make sure y'all watch out for that video so y'all can share in my splendor and my thrill that I had for it. I think it lasted maybe a total like 4 minutes between both things. But anyway, so the Mrs., you win birthdays. So far in my life, 40 has been the absolute, indisputably best birthday I've ever had in my entire life. And it is largely, I'm not gonna say all, but it is predominantly because of the Mrs. So shout out to you, baby. I love you very much. And her birthday's coming up soon. And speaking of birthdays that are coming up, Libra season, since we're actually not going to be here next week, I got to get a bunch of them out today. So happy birthday to Shayla, celebrating a birthday today. India, my cousin India, and Jimmy, celebrating birthdays tomorrow. Mary J, the original Mary J to me. Anuma, and a rest in peace and memoriam to the late, great, awesome attorney, awesome woman, Cecilia Works, mother to my boy JT. Birthdays on Friday. She would have celebrated her birthday on Friday. May she continue to rest in paradise. My man Brisky, Felix, and my Aunt Gloria celebrating birthdays on the 13th. Stephanie and Melissa celebrating birthdays on the 14th. Wes Felton, yes, that's right, Wes Felton, very renowned musician, artist right here in the DMV, and one half of the Crossroads with Raheem Devon. And my homegirl Carmia celebrating birthdays on the 15th. My man T. Witz and Danny will be celebrating birthdays on the 17th. The Mrs., of course, legendary Nonchalant, and Nikisha, all celebrating birthdays on the 18th. Jen Aguilar and my main man Golden Child, who I gotta shout out. Golden Child, he got a brand new video. Make sure y'all check it out on YouTube called The Takeover. Dope video. Got the homie Kokomo up in the video. You know what I'm saying? DC legend. Y'all been on the buses. Y'all already know about Kokomo. They're celebrating birthdays on the 19th. And finally, Ty, Tarina, and our very own Nico the Go-Go-ologist celebrating birthdays on the 21st. Closing out Libra season with a bang. You know what I'm saying? That's right, Libras, we roll deep. You know what I'm saying? So, respect the Libras, y'all. It's been a great season, you know what I'm saying? But appreciate everybody for making Libra season great, as always. Oh yeah, definitely, Calvin. I'm gonna make sure I post that up. You gonna see it, man. You might see it and you might want to do it. I don't know if you've done it before. I'm guessing you haven't, but yeah, I'm guessing you probably will want to do it, or at least try it once you see it. All right, let's get into this really quickly because we're running low on time.
Let's see what's happening on the Bars community calendar.
And yes, shout out to Ramsey Haynes. She was in Facebook Live. Appreciate you for tuning in. The winner of the Fish Grease Pick of the Week earlier today. Let's see, where are my announcements? Okay, so Lock Living in Taji Magazine presents Locks and Lyrics Maryland, Saturday, October 19th from 7 to 11 p.m. at Caribbean Kinks, 557 Ritchie Road, Capitol Heights, Maryland. Come enjoy an evening of live music, open mic, poetry, art, food, shopping, drinks, and great vibes. Performers and vendors. Pre-registration is required to secure your spot. Confirmed featured artists already, none other than my fellow brother of sound, Pat P. You know what I'm saying? So definitely make sure y'all show up for that. The cost is $10. If you want to perform or be a vendor, email locksandlyrics, that's LOCSANDLYRICS @gmail.com. And to register for the event, visit www.melanating, that's MELANATING.com/events/locks and lyrics, that's LOCS, the letter N, LYRICS. And we'll make sure we have that information on our Instagram page as well. The Dad Gang, Strolling with the Homies tour, Sunday, October 20th, starting at 10 a.m. They will meet on the National Mall, and this is an event that I found out. Shout out to Trestlin Thorman. She shared this event with me. 100 black dads at least. It's probably going to be more. Will be walking along with their children, strapping their kids up in strollers, or just walking along with them right here in Washington, D.C. So to register and for more info, please visit www.thedadgang.com. And finally, the 512 Experience will be having a Halloween party Saturday, October 26th from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. at the Bikram, 6200 Rhode Island Avenue, Suite 200 in Riverdale, Maryland. 2 sets of live music plus a DJ, food and drink included in the price of admission. And once I find out the price of the admission, I will let y'all know. But for more info, contact Ray, who has tickets. You can contact him at 202-531-0177. All right, let me set this up, and then we will get into this to close it on out.
Words of wisdom to get you through the rest of your week. These are the Bars for Life.
So this is actually a quote that my wife shared on Facebook and Instagram, and it's from Glory Osei, entrepreneur, negotiation, and international procurement expert. And she says, Healthy relationships feel boring to people who are used to relationships filled with toxicity and drama. They're not sure what to do with love that is calm, kind, drama-free, non-toxic, and doesn't require them to constantly make painful sacrifices. And that's really a real thing to bring up, because a lot of times we get in relationships, or we operate in newer relationships from the lens of our old relationships, and we really have to shed those bad experiences and not be controlled by those particular experiences. So embrace the new experiences, and don't think that just because something is healthy or something is peaceful or something is calm that it's automatically boring. You don't need drama for a relationship to be interesting. You just need an open mind and an open heart. And that's really the bottom line. So, I appreciate the Mrs. for putting that quote in the consciousness and everything. As stated before, we will not be here next week because y'all know me. It's 5 Wednesdays in a month. Typically, I take off the middle Wednesday. So we will be back October 23rd. And let me go to my calendar so I can tell you who our guest will be on the 23rd. So we will have McCrazy calling in from South Africa. We're going to have our first overseas interview. So he'll be calling in at 11:15. I don't even know what time that is his time. I'm going to find out and let him know. But he will be calling in that day. We'll be talking to him. And also at noon, we will be having Zexa on. So that's on October 23rd. That will be our next show. Make sure y'all stay tuned for DMV Culture Club, 6 to 8 p.m. and Grind Season Radio from 8 to 10 p.m. right here on WinDCRadio.com, the WinDC Radio app. Many of these shows available on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and of course, it's all powered by GoWin.media. Thank you to everybody who tuned in today. Team Bars, y'all always come through and represent. I love and appreciate every last one of y'all for always supporting and just always showing love. And of course, I got to shout out my main man Nico for holding it down with the sound and making sure we good and everything. Got to shout out our CEO, what I'm saying, and my fellow Libra brother. Got to shout him out once again, So again, make sure y'all tune in 2 weeks and enjoy the rest of your week. Excuse me, and your weekend. And we're gonna close out with Melanin with Never Alone on the official Humday Motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars. Thank you to everybody once again, and I will see y'all in 2 weeks. Peace.
Nebulosity is honestly a catastrophe. Far from the anomaly, no prototype, not my type. You see, you're among the average of average within my own community. The type that catch my eyes, God-fearing, but that's a rarity. So I'm to hopelessly hope for the average to become something rare, or settle for average as if I myself don't care. I don't need anyone, you see. I'd rather just be alone with my canvas and my poems, my guitar and my songs, cause I lack dependency. Although sometimes a tendency to want someone of my own endlessly be overwhelming me, causing me to act on emotions so untrue. But it's not me, it's you, so keep that. Ain't no turning back, yeah. And it sucks to feel lonely, but it's better than being loved wrongly. Teach them. It's okay to call my phone if you're feeling all alone. If you really need a friend, I'm the one that you can call. It's okay you feel alone, but you're really not alone. Tell your feelings they are wrong and they need to carry on. Tell your feelings they are wrong and they need to carry on. You say that you're my friend, but I'm really your amusement. You've been jealous, you is selfish, and you think that I are stupid, but you know that I am brilliant. You know that I'm gon' kill it. You know that I'm resilient and persistent. So you try to feed me lies, and I won't believe them, baby girl. Look into my eyes and listen, I'm gonna change the world. I rebuke you out my life, and I'm on my merry way. I may miss you cause I love you, but girl, we gon' be okay. It's okay to call my phone if you're feeling all alone. If you really need a friend, I'm the one that you can call. It's okay you feel alone, but you're really not alone. Tell your feelings they are wrong and they need to carry on. No.
That's it?
I did it. Mommy did it?
Yes.
Oh. You want to do bars?